Hi, I'm Todd Heitkamp, the owner of Dakota Angler here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with this week's 2-minute fishing report. Well, folks, Mother Nature definitely turned the heat back up for this holiday weekend. And by the way, I hope all of you had a great 4th of July holiday weekend. I hope you had a great and safe one. I know we did here here at the store as well as our family did, so I hope you did the same. The heat definitely affected the fishermen, I should say, not necessarily the fish. The bite was there, but the heat really made it tough to fish throughout the afternoon, obviously. So a lot of people went out in the morning and evening and had some success around the area. And the lakes up in the northeastern part of the state that produce walleyes included bitter, opits, north and south rush, goose, 3-buck, wabay, and wabay even having to sort quite a bit more. And then also Lynn, Indian Springs, Dry Lake by Florence, Reed, and then also Big Stone. Down the southeastern part of the state, the lakes that produce walleye included Thompson, Dry Lake by Willow Lake, Ponset. That bite's kind of tapering off quite a bit. And then also Sinai, Campbell, a few being caught there. And then also Henry, 81 Ponds, Brant, a few being caught there, as well as Island, and then also Madison. Now, what have guys been doing to catch the walleyes? And by the way, the Missouri River continues to do really well up and down the river. But as far as what people are doing to catch the walleyes, a lot of guys are using bottom bouncers and slow death rigs, as we talked about last week, really doing the trick right now. And if you're not using slow death, then they're using single hooks snells for leeches and then double hooks snells for the crawlers. If they're not pulling live bait, then they're using plugs right now. A lot of people are pulling plugs, covering a lot of that water. A lot of people are using the Hornets. Northland Rumble Shads really took off this past week. And then also the Shaky Shads, and then the Flicker Shads by Berkeley, all doing quite well. And then as far as the crappie bite is concerned around the area, that's kind of tapering off a little bit, but guys that are fishing crappie are still catching them at Big Stone, Pickerel, Ponset, Thompson, also a few being caught at Beaver, Scott Slough, as well as Vermilion. Now the perch bite is starting to show signs of life around the area. A few are being caught. I won't say a real good perch bite yet, but still being a few being caught. Big Stone is probably the best one right now. Otherwise, Ponset, Wabay, Thompson, and then also Dry Lake by Willow Lake. In this week's version of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're going to talk about lightning. And we haven't probably talked about it that much this year because, honestly, we haven't had the storms around to really worry about it. But the reason why I bring this up is that I had a customer that called me earlier this week that said that while they were out in the body of water, clouds were developing around them. And they were seeing sparks come off the end of the rods. And sooner or later that they were touching each other, close to each other, and sparks were being transferred or they were getting shocks from each other. Folks, that's a good sign, probably one of the worst signs that you can ever imagine, that lightning is building up in that direct area. And if you don't vacate that area, lightning will strike you. And so, again, what I want you to do is I've always done this, is to preach being proactive. In other words, if you see clouds developing, thunderstorms developing, get off that body of water at that point in time. Also, if you hear thunder, at that point in time, get off that body of water because when you hear thunder, you're close enough to the storm to be struck by lightning. Lightning can strike anywhere from 10 to 15 miles away from the storm. And there's no reason, there's no fish around that's worth risking your life. And a lot of people say the fish bite best right before the storm. And again, I've said that before because that, again, is a good old wives' tale, or it has to do with pressure. But again, your safety comes first. Let's make sure I emphasize that again. Your safety and your family's safety comes first before catching that walleye. So again, be aware of your surroundings, watching for clouds developing, skies becoming dark at that point in time, and the sound of thunder. All those things coming together, get off that body of water at that point in time. Also, have some way to receive weather information. Whether or not it's your cell phone or weather radio is another great way. There's a number of weather apps out there. So again, those are great ways to stay informed of the weather conditions out there. But again, nothing is better than your own common sense. And those are the things that a lot of people will lose as storms are approaching. So again, you hear thunder, storms developing, growing vertically, skies becoming dark, get off that body of water before it's too late. And now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And remember, folks, if you'd like your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, please send it to me. Send it to Todd at dakotaangler.com or post it to our Facebook wall. And if I use your photo, your name will be entered into a monthly drawing for a $25 gift certificate. Once again, folks, I'd like to remind you before we end this week's report that if you can't make it to the store, you can do your shopping online at dakotaangler.com. It's a great way to get what you need from home, and we'll ship it out to you the next day. You can also shop online on our Facebook page as well as our Instagram page. And so those are another great way to stay informed of all the latest happenings going on here at the store. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to give us a call at 605-336-9132. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report. For Dakota Angler, I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next week, and again, thanks for watching. Stay healthy and stay safe.